Boxes in Texas. My name is Phil, your host. And of course, Duke is already here, the co-host. I can't believe he's already here. It's absolutely amazing. Anyway, I guess I'll tell you my project is in just a minute. You saw Duke in the last video. He had to be on tape. Or, boy, tape. Look, that dates me, doesn't it? Anyway, what do we have here, guys? This is an older project that I did several years ago. This is when I was first learning how to build, and I'm using plastic ammo boxes. And if you guys are builders yourself and you're just starting out and you want to learn how to do this, a plastic ammo box is a lot more forgiving than the metal one and a lot easier to work with. Great way to practice your first build. And this one here still has the fiberglass insulation before I started lining the boxes, but it still has a pretty good sound to it. Also, one of the differences you'll see, I use a lead acid battery, and I actually used to use these speaker ports you would clip your battery charger to with the other clips to charge it. All the other features are pretty much the same, and I was still learning how to paint. And it's got the USB port on top and the voltage meter and everything, and two rocker switches, and it sounds really, really good. Now, the reason I have this box here is the owner wanted me to put a new battery in it because the lead acid batteries only last about a year or so, maybe 2 years, and so he wanted to upgrade the battery to a deep cycle battery. Hold on here, Duke, if you want to look out the window, look out the window. Oh, goodness gracious, cat. There comes Linus. Come here, Linus. Let me see if I can get Linus on film. Linus has gotten really big. Come here. Come here. Oh, he minds just as well as Duke does. So anyway, so what this customer wanted me to do, he likes to use this in his shop when he's working with cars or things. So he wanted to not just have to rely on the battery. He wanted to be able to plug it into the wall. So he wanted to convert the box to dual power, and we did that. Or I should say that's what I did yesterday. So what I did was, you can't see it inside here, so I installed a 8-pin relay in here, and what that does is allows you to use this power supply right here, and go ahead and take this out of the package and show you guys. Move this back so you can see what we have here. This is a 6 amp 12 volt power supply, and what that means is, let me go ahead and plug it in here. It takes 120 volts from the house power, which the radio cannot use, the box cannot use, and it converts it to 12 volts DC, which the radio can use. And now also for you guys that are watching outside the United States that use 220 power, I mean 240 power or 220 instead of the 110, 120 we use in the States, you can get these with the plug designed to work with your electrical system and still get the 12 volts that you want. There's Linus. Come here, Linus. Hey, come here. Well, heck with it. So, anyway, so this is what we're going to use. Now, the reason you have to use a relay, and I've done several videos on relays, is if you just plug this in directly to the box with the battery still hooked up, what would happen is the power supply would try to charge the battery. And that's not good for several reasons. Number one, this is designed to supply power. It's not designed as a charger. When you're charging a battery, it puts a really heavy load on this transformer in here, and this is not designed to carry that kind of a load. And what's going to happen is eventually the power supply is going to burn itself up. Also, because it's not a battery charger, the battery is just constantly being charged, and you're going to overcharge the battery. The battery is going to heat up, and it's going to also damage or destroy the battery as well. It wouldn't necessarily cause a fire, but it would destroy one or both of these items. So what the 8-pin relay does is, the relay is like a gatekeeper. It normally lets the battery come through the circuit, but when you plug in the power supply, it trips the battery, it trips the relay, and the relay essentially cuts the battery off the circuit, and now it's only allowing the power supply to come through. Now the reason that works is the relay is like an electric switch. So I've also have it set up, wired, where when power is applied to the power supply port on the back, which I'll show you in just a minute, that activates the relay, and the relay trips. and now the relay has disconnected the battery from the circuit, and is only allowing power from the power supply to get to the boom box and run the system. Now the cool thing is the relay is spring loaded, so as soon as you unplug power from here, the relay is going to trip back, and what that's going to do is it's going to cut off the power supply, and now you're going to be back on battery power, and everything happens instantaneously. Now if you wanted to, you could install a manual switch to switch between the two, or disconnect the battery and switch on the other, but the problem with that is sometimes you may forget to flip the switch, and I did that on my first build because I didn't know about the relay setup, and I ended up burning up a power supply and ruining some batteries because I forgot to flip the switch. And so with the relay, it's just so much easier. It's out of sight, out of mind, happens automatically. And I'll show you on the back here. I put this little port with a cap on it, and you just plug it in right there. And now it's still not going to trip. It's only going to trip when power is applied, when it's plugged into the wall. So you could leave this plugged in all the time and just unplug it and plug it back in when you want to go off the power supply. Like that. And as soon as you unplug it, it'll be back on the battery, no problem. Now the cool thing about that is, because the battery is separate from the power supply, you can actually hook up your charger if you wanted to charge your battery at the same time you're running off the power supply. You can also do that. So let's give this thing a listen and see how it sounds. I don't know if Linus is going to get on up here or not. He's down here below chasing Duke. I hope YouTube doesn't get rid of the song. If it does, for copyright reasons, I'll try to find another song later today and put it back on there. So let me go ahead and turn this on. Should get the beep. There we go. And see what happens. Well, I gotta pair the Bluetooth. I thought it was already paired, but I guess not. I don't think I haven't paired it. There we go. Let's try that. All right. There we go. Now let's try this again. Go back to YouTube here. Start over. Come on, YouTube. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there we go. I was able to grab Linus for just a minute, but look how big this cat's gotten. Remember how small he was when I first showed him on video? He's almost as big as Duke. He's 11 months old now. Of course, he's still real feisty. He doesn't like the camera like Duke, so there goes Linus. But thank you, everybody, for watching, and got new projects coming on. I know somebody's been asking me about the box I'm doing. I'm doing a box with the Mexico flag. I have it right here. It's all taped off right now because I was doing some extra painting on it. and everything. And I got to put a little decal, a little blemish to have on the paint there, but I'm going to peel up the tape off today, and it's going to look really, really good. It's going to have a red stripe along the bottom, and it's going to have the lid. Let me get the lid real quick. The lid's going to be green. That's going with the Mexico flag, and it's going to look really, really good. It's going to have a AM/FM radio with Bluetooth and all kinds of really cool features. So this is going to be my next project I'm working on today, and I'll have the video for this one up next week. So thank you everybody for watching, and have a wonderful day. And for Duke, my name is Phil, and we'll see you next time.